Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to this week's property news. Another eventful week. So much has happened this week and I've got lots to share with you. We're going to talk about house prices, mortgages. We're going to talk about the Renters' Rights Bill. We're going to talk about repossessions. There's a lot that we're going to talk about. If you're new around here and you haven't watched one of our videos and you haven't subscribed yet, 3,000 people have subscribed so far in January and I want to get more. So we want to grow the channel to 100,000 as soon as we can. Let's get there a little bit faster by subscribing to the channel over there and hitting that bell notification. And let's get some more views on this video. Let people be aware of what's going on by smashing like, tickling like, do something to that like button. That really, really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And I appreciate everybody that takes a moment to do that. So, there's a lot going on at the moment and it's frustrating, I understand, for some people, because sometimes we're talking about interest rates going up and then very quickly that gets reversed and they're going back down. So why is that? Well, the market is in a strange limbo at the moment. We've got a few things that we're waiting to happen. One is a clearer path from the Bank of England on rate cuts. Now, they've said they're going to cut 4 times this year, but lots of stuff has changed since then. So in a week or so, we've got the next or the first Bank of England meeting of 2025. Will we get a rate cut then? I think we will at that meeting. So we'll see how that one pans out. That will give some more certainty to the markets, and then we'll see, do rates start coming back down? That's what we're looking for here. And so this is what's happened this week. So mortgage rates are mostly up. Most lenders have increased their rates in the last week or so, and at least once this year. So we've had rate increases from Barclays, from Halifax, from Santander, from HSBC, from NatWest. All of the big lenders have done it. A lot of the smaller lenders have also done that. We've done a roundup video yesterday or the day before on the best rates for this week. So do go and check out that. But on the whole, mortgage rates are a smidge up, around 0.25%. What else is going on? Well, we had some Rightmove data on asking prices. And I think asking prices are important. And they are 1.7% up just this month. Now, we had 2 months back to back where asking prices were down in November and December. If it was down again in this month in January, that would have been a really bad sign on where the market is heading, but it did bounce back, and more than in January of 2024. Now, why do I think asking prices are important? I believe they're important because they give you market sentiment. Now, you will see house prices drop on Rightmove before you see sold prices drop. And so when you see a market that's in free fall, a crash, a collapse, whatever you want to call it, it's going to start on the property portals first. Of course it is, right? Because if someone has to sell their house, they're reducing the price so quick and so much that they want a fast sale, it's going to start on these property portals. And if loads of people do it in an area, then others will join that. And that is where it all is going to start. And right now, that isn't happening. Asking prices are up. It doesn't mean house prices will necessarily be up, because people will negotiate and bargain, especially as we get close to the stamp duty deadline in April. But on the whole, it is a fairly flat market. So we had some drops November, December, and we've had some increases in January. So that's important to note as well. Mortgage, they're going to look at increasing. So the government have asked the Financial Conduct Authority to relax lending criteria. Lenders have come back to the government and said, look, we're not getting as many repossessions as we have done in the past. People are coping with the higher interest rates. The forecast is for interest rates to drop, and we want to lend more money. And so they can't do that without approval from the government. And so they're looking at relaxing this and potentially allowing people to borrow 6 times their salary. Now, that will increase house prices for sure, because people often buy the most expensive house that they can afford with their salary, with the mortgage that they get approved for. And so I believe that if that does happen, you will start to see more people come into the market that are maybe sitting out, and they'll be bidding up properties. That's the thing. Now, what they also want to include in this legislation, which is interesting, is they want to take into account your performance on rental payments. So I know people that have had a rental payment of £1,500 a month. They go for a mortgage, and the mortgage would be £1,000 a month. But on technicalities and affordability, the bank says you can't afford 1,000, but you can afford 1,500 quid in rent. That doesn't make sense. And so this is what they want to look at as well. What have you been affording as a monthly payment, and how long? So if you can show them, look, I've paid 1,500 quid for 5 years, of course I can afford £1,000 a month mortgage, you're more likely to get approved. And that's going to be brought into the criteria if this legislation moves forward. So that's interesting. That will have an impact on first-time buyers. It could counter the stamp duty stuff. So if you don't know, we've talked about this a lot. Stamp duty is increasing, particularly for first-time buyers, on the 1st of April. The threshold at the moment for not paying stamp duty is £425,000, meaning you can buy a property for £425,000 as a first-time buyer and have no stamp duty. That's dropping all the way down to £300,000. That is not going to help first-time buyers, but this could counter that and get the market moving again. So that's one to keep an eye on. I think we should keep an eye on that. The ONS, the Office of National Statistics, they put their data out, and they're saying annual house price increases in 2024 till November were 3.3%. That's very close to, I can't remember which way around it was. Halifax said 4.7%, and Nationwide, I think, said 3.3%. So it's very similar to that data there. And that shows that the market did have some sort of rebound in 2024. It was busier. We knew that from talking about the monthly updates that we do. We did know that in the summer, the market did pick up significantly because mortgage rates dropped, didn't they? We had mortgage rates at the beginning of 2024 at 6%, and you could get deals at one point in the summer for 3.75%. There was a deal with the Mortgage Works on buy-to-let at 3.49%. That did invigorate the market and did make things pick up. Next, I haven't done a video on this one yet, but Airbnb. The government wants to make a register of every Airbnb property. This is something I think will just happen. I can't see many objections on this one. And I think this will highlight to councils how many properties in their area have Airbnbs. Now, in London, they have something called a 90-day rule. London was well aware that there are a lot of Airbnb properties. This meant a shortage and a lack of properties to buy and a lack of properties for rent. So the local government in London, they restricted it so you can only rent a property for 90 days. Of course, some people do get around that. But what this could highlight is to other councils that don't have a real database or knowledge or an idea on what's happening, is they'll suddenly be aware, wow, 10% of our properties or 20% of our properties, especially if you go to beach towns like Brighton, Hastings, those sort of areas, they will get highlighted how many Airbnbs there are, and they could eventually start charging or restrict the amount of days that this happens, and you can rent out the property. So not the best news for serviced accommodation operators. There'll be ways around it and things that you can do, but that Airbnb list is going to happen at some point fairly soon. We did a video as well on repossessions of buy-to-let rental properties. It's up 73%. The last quarter was 73% more repossessions than the same quarter last year. That's a big increase. And a lot of that is down to interest rates going up. Taxation on landlords is really high. Tenants struggling and not being able to pay rent. Then the landlord can't afford their mortgage. Some landlords getting stuck on variable rate mortgages as well, meaning their payments are ballooned and they're very, very expensive. So That is another thing that is shrinking the rental market. Right now, the rental market is the same size as 2016. So that means there is the same amount of properties to rent as there were in 2016. But if you think about it, what's happened in that time, there is such an explosion in our population. So the amount of rental stock as a percentage of what's needed is in decline, and that repossessions is going to be another reason why even less rental properties will be available and probably will push up rents even more. So that's what's gone on in the last week. There's a lot. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on everything that we talk about here on the channel. And do check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.